Yes. Welcome to Come Well to another episode, another show, another portal, another doorway entitled Am I as I am, as you are. Just want to give big acknowledgement to the students who are attending the classes of this semester starting in between the last week of March and the first week of April. I would advise y'all to at least fast maybe a week prior, somewhere between the third week and fourth week of March before the classes start, to fast at least, at the very least, 3 days before these classes begin, because these are going to be very powerful, very insightful classes, packed with a lot of gnosis. Um, for my mind walkers, for my subconscious scribers, my subconscious scribers, those that subscribe to this channel, and those that have already signed up for classes. Classes are getting packed as we speak. Like I said, um, I'm a certified metaphysical psychologist. I've been this for about 8 years, about 8 or 9 years so far, somewhere around there. Um, I'm very serious with what I do. Uh, this YouTube channel and certain things like this is an experiment as well as also giving the light out. I give it how I live it. I was given it this way, so this is how I give it out. I dish it out the way I was given it. So, from other elders and grandmasters and master teachers and other people that I sat at the feet at and was at the lectures at, interacted in person with, and pretty much a family member of some very well known people that you guys probably click on every day or every other day and don't know um, that I am also, my spiritual lineage is also a part of that same thing, and we're all family. But that's neither here nor there at the moment. Somewhere, but let's get back to the point. These classes are, and the images are just as powerful as the messages behind them. And what I have described on each image during these classes, during these presentations, these classes are at least 2 hours long. They're going to be 1, maybe 2 days the most per week, because this is how I was taught. We had class every 2 weeks, but I'm giving it kind of the benefit of the doubt. So I'm going to have class every week, but it's going to be no more than 1 or 2 classes, depending upon what certain people sign up for. Some people sign up for 2 classes. Most people sign up for 1 class a week, which is better for my schedule as well, because, like I said, I'm also a martial artist. I teach martial arts. I have more students coming with martial arts as well. There's an inside and outside. Inside dojo, of course, I already have in the works. The outside dojo, of course, is nature. This is our outside dojo. Um, Parks, recreational places, and even in front of my home, my house, different places. About 2 or 3 different locations. And also, I'm in the midst of writing 2 books at one time right now. So I'm typing up and writing 2 different books at one time. I'm holding classes. I'm teaching martial arts. My clothing line is under construction. My website, I had it up last year. I'm about to put it back up. The, the website, the clothing line website complements the book. The book complements the classes. The classes complement the teachings on YouTube. Everything is under one umbrella, believe it or not. In my earlier videos, I have some of my clothing line on. Certain pieces, not a lot, but I'm going to be, the whole point is just saying that, I'm going to be involved in a lot of things. So, not saying I'm going to come off YouTube or I'm not going to do no more YouTube videos, because I definitely am going to. It just may not be as frequent as it was before, because I'm going to be involved in other things. And then there's going to be times I'm going to be catching up, and it's going to be on point, and then there's going to be a little slow progressive point. There's going to be another catch up point. There's going to be another slow progressive point. So it's going to be something like this somewhere along that algorithm. of you guys seeing me here on YouTube rather than you guys seeing me in classes. Because out of the subscribers I have now at the moment, a lot of you guys already signed up for classes. So classes are getting packed. I also have group classes as well as individual classes. The individual classes are the most powerful classes because I like the one-on-one interaction. I've talked to crowds, I've built with the gods, I've built with plenty of people from all walks and talks of nature and life. Um, so I'm just as transactive with the group, but there's nothing like a one-on-one, you know. Most people sign up for the one-on-one, which is most appreciated, and the rest of the people sign up for the group classes and the group courses. If you guys are interested in this, um, contact me. My email at the bottom, and we can make things happen right away. Also, to understand, keep in mind in consideration, keep in mind in heart, kima, that this is the year or the solar cycle of the snake. And this is why my other videos, and I was saying true mythology is motherology, talking about the mother and the snake and the Typhonian, the Ophidian, and Draconian, and the Polarians, and the Hyperboreans, and the Lemurians, and the Atlanteans, and the Aryans, and so on and so forth, how this ties into that snake-like energy, that caduceus-like energy, that caduceus, that kundalini, that serpentine fire. And the year or the solar cycle of the snake, which is this year, 2025, or this solar cycle, 2025, it's on point. I actually did those videos based upon the understanding of the snake and the primal ancient origins of the snake-like understanding before I even knew that this was the solar cycle of the snake, according to the Chinese calendar. The Chinese come from the Qin dynasty. The Qin is a part of the Qi. These are all indigenous peoples. I'll put it like that. Asians or the Asia come from the people of the Husia. The Husia come from the San. The San are these people who were in Central Alkebulan, which you know as Africa. And they are connected to the Twa people as well as the Kang and the Khoisan. This is where you get your Asian people from, or your Oriental people from. Okay, Oriental just means the oriented ones. Okay, or those who are in orientation, which means group-like, tribal. This is where the Oriental or the Asian, the Asia is the Asia, which is the Husia, the Sia, the people who are the seers. That's where you get the word seer or see. To see something comes from the Sia. The Sia, that Asiatic or that epifold in their eye, that slanted eye. And I'm half Philippine and half Jamaican. So I know where that derives from Central Africa or Central Alkebulan, even though we were everywhere. We were the Olmec, we were the Sambo, we were everywhere. But as far as what we know from the Chinese calendar, the Qin dynasty, the Shi was also the Olmec people. Right here under our feet in America, or Amaruaka. You have, so when I'm talking about the year of the snake, or the solar cycle of the snake energy, the serpentine energy, that wiggly line, that grooving, graceful line across the energy, it also means energy waves. It also means the spinal cord, the spinal column. It also means the intestines. That snake-like energy also means the umbilical cord. It also means the hair, the locks. It also means braids. It also means the fingers. It means the toes. It means the tongue. It means anything snake-like, serpentine-like energy. Anything that is of an electroid kind of intelligence that finds its way out, even if it has to come back and retreat back, it wiggles out. The phallus, the clit, the breast, anything and everything, the arms, the legs. This is the serpentine year. This is the serpentine solar cycle. Okay, so this is pretty relevant right now to understand what this is about. Um, Getting back to the point, the topic of today's quick video is entitled, What is a Teacher? What is a teacher? Now, I don't necessarily consider myself a teacher, which is what I have in my first book that I have out on Amazon and Barnes& Noble and different places, thriftbooks.com. My book is called As You Are, and in subtitles, it's uh, The Art of Mastering Principle Within Personal Intimate Relationships. And the title is called As You Are. In that, I also reference that I'm not a teacher. I don't call myself a teacher. I'm just one having an interesting experience within myself, and I'm just deciding to share it with others. And that's just pretty much what it is. But certain people call me a teacher and see me as a teacher, and put this title and label on me, and hey, it's fine, whatever. And I'll play with it at the moment. So today's title is called "What is a Teacher?" Now, I'm going to first break it down where the word teacher came from before we even just get into this real quick video. The etymology of the word teacher derives from the word techen or teken, meaning to show, demonstrate, to point out, to instruct, to provide guidance, to provide training. This is where the word teacher comes from. The word teacher comes from the word techen, which is teken. Now, that derives from the ancient origin or the ancient pronunciation or the antiquitous pronunciation, which is known as tekem or tikem. Tekem, which means one who possesses melanin, darkness, the hidden, the beginnings, the divine spark, the sacred chamber. This is what the word tekem means, which is where the word techen came from, which is what we know now as the word teacher. Okay, so teacher just means one who attained, one who has attained and applied. Okay, one who has the container of darkness, one who plays in the dark within their mind, the dark within their being, and has received something in that darkness, that's some kind of a light in that darkness, and then spews that light out. So pretty much that's what the word teacher means. If you want to say I am a teacher, cool, I am a teacher. I have walked in that dark, stayed in that dark, and received a light which I am now sharing. The longer you stay in the dark, the brighter the light is that you receive. Understand that. The longer you stay in the dark, the brighter is the light that you receive. And the deeper it instills itself within your being. Okay? Just want to make sure we understand that real quick. Now, what is a teacher? First doorway. A teacher is a tincture, an elixir of alchemies that only gives drops of gnosis to the studious one or the astute. Now, what is a tincture, in case you guys know what a tincture is? This is a tincture. This is the drop. Now, this is what a teacher is symbolic of. The teacher is symbolic of the tincture that creates a drop, just a drop of gnosis into the student, or takes from their dark, the light out of their dark container, which is why this is a dark bottle, takes the light and then drops it, a drop on the student. Now, a teacher is a tincture, an elixir of alchemies or alchemization that only gives drops of gnosis, of knowledge of knowing thyself, to the studious or the student or the astute one, the one who is willing to receive, the one who wants to know, that needs to know for some reason, like they need, like the lungs just have to inhale and exhale. That's how strong the need to know has to go or has to be within one. And this is what I found, or other elders, other masters seen within me. What they seen within me, what I felt within my being for a very long time. And I can't even explain why I feel that way or why I was feeling that way. But I can understand it now because for some reason I've contained something which needs to be given at this right time, timeless moment, in this space and moment. For those, or for majority who may be lacking something that I possess. Just like I had to go to martial art masters. I didn't know something, so I had to go to the one who possessed it and extracted that kind of gnosis from them in order to make it a part of me and apply it. And then teach it to others or show it to others who also want to know just as deeply as I wanted to know at one time. The teacher is the torture, the one who lights the torture which goes through the torture, which is the pain and agony, to return and retorch the darkness. So the teacher is also known as the torture, the one who holds the torch, which goes through the torture, the pain and agony, the wanting to know, to return with what he or she received, to retorch the darkness. Where is the darkness? The darkness is within one's being. See, so this is why what you know was Nicheretapis or lectors or priests, scribes, we were the hooded ones. The hooded ones. We were under the hood because we were under a hide. We were hiding. We are hidden in plain sight. We are always within the darkness because we always want to be receiving the light or any light that's happening within us at any given moment in time with an understanding of timelessness. Okay? The teacher is also the toucher, the one who was touched and begins touching. One who can touch without reaching out, but by reaching in. The one who was touched that sees that same touch within others. Within others. I see that same touch within you. My gnosis can reach your gnosis, or begin your gnosis, or wake up your gnosis, or remind your gnosis by me reaching in myself. So the toucher, the teacher, which is the toucher, is not talking about physical hands and fingers and touching someone else. It means by himself or herself touching something within their self. And for some reason, that inside touching begins you touching inside of your being. So I'm able to reach in without reaching out. As soon as I reach in myself, you begin reaching in yourself. That's where the touch happens. So the teacher is the one who is touched. Okay? One who can touch without reaching out, but by reaching in. The one who is touched that sees the same touch within others. This is the reason why you guys are signed up for class and signed up for courses. Because you've felt that touch that you've touched within your being. And now it's time to grab it, grasp it, hold it, and embrace it. You're giving birth to a new you, to a new who, to a new what. This is that time. There's no time like no time. Okay? Teacher is one who was called forth from an anonymous source. A teacher is one who was called forth from an anonymous source. One who attains, one who applies. And this is what it's about. Teacher is attainment, application, interception, reaction. No, pardon me. Attainment, application, interception, interaction, connection. That is what the teacher and student, the student and teacher is, because the teacher always remains a student. That's how you know if when you're amongst a teacher is because that teacher is also a student of his or her own teachings, of his or her own reachings. A teacher is one who begins teaching their self. This is why a teacher educates. Educates is the word educare. Educare is where the word educate comes from. Educare means to draw out that which is inside. The one who teaches their self, the one who reaches their self, who reaches certain levels and heights of attainment within their self. This is why when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. You are both the student and the teacher. So when you are ready, you will appear. When you appear, that's when you are ready. Know thyself. Know comes from gnosis, the nous, all of the mind. To enter into your mind and then to draw out and call forth, to genuinely within the heart of hearts, needing to know. These classes are going to be exactly how it's supposed to be. And I'm glad a lot of you guys are waiting for this gnosis and about to receive some powerful things that are going to immediately change your atmosphere and your surroundings and your life. I'm doing this work every moment, every day. Just like inhaling and exhaling. So a matter of fact, it's not even work. I'm just existing. But you want to put this into the subconscious mind because the subconscious mind is that actionary. It's the one that just does without your conscious mind even knowing what's happening. So you want to make this learning, this understanding, this gnosis a happening, not something waiting for you to say action. No, it's an actionary that doesn't need you to say action. You want to put this in motion. That's the whole point, to put it in motion, make it work for you. Your body works for you. Your spirit works for you. This reality works for you. It bends to your will. You don't bend to its will. Okay? Schools. Now, we're going to talk about the ancestral or the antiquitous pronunciation with the word school. School comes from the word sibyet or sibyet. That's the word school. Modern day word school derives from the word sibyet. Okay? But the schools back then were called perank. Perank was the school, and the school was known as the house of life. The house of life, when pronounced in the ancestral tongue, is Perank. The lessons that were taught there were called Kumti or Kumta. Kem also always meaning black, Ta meaning land. So Kemta meaning the black land or the hidden dimension. So it meant something physical, but it also meant something metaphysical. And this is why my courses are based upon metaphysical psychology, that which how I was taught and was certified in is how I teach it. It's based upon metaphysical psychology, absolutely, but it's not called or titled metaphysical psychology to that degree, but that is the basis and the understanding. Because to become the body of God, you have to become the mind of God, or to become the body of Source, you have to first become the mind of Source. That's why back in the day, in the 80s and 90s, you had a people, an organization. I'm not going to call it a gang or nothing because it wasn't that. It was an organization, an understanding, a knowledge of self, people that were called God bodies. And they were only God bodies because they had the God minds. You can't become God body until you become God mind, the mind of God. Until you understand what is God, or what is that thing, what is source, what is the omnipotent one, what is the hidden one, who is that, what is that? To make a long story short, just means the mind. And when I begin changing that mind of yours, your home, your living room, outside your window, your circumstances, everything in your life will begin to change rapidly, as it has done in mine and is doing right now in this moment as I speak to you. It's time to begin shifting dimensions, piercing through realms, creating your own understanding and understanding of your own specific, unique, personal, and private calling. And you need to answer the call right now. Not right now, but right now. Especially if you find an interest in this and this is holding your attention, or this caught your attention and is holding your interest. I always tell you those are your two spiritual antennas: interest and attention. Interest and attention. And if you keep drawing back to this and coming back to this, even if it's not my channel, even if it's somebody else's channel, or somebody that you know at your job, or somebody that you know in the street, or somebody that you know at the laundromat, or somebody that you see at the supermarket all the time, or somebody that you walk past the liquor store all the time, and they're always kicking something to you. It's always going to talk to you. It's always going to keep following you. It's like the movie called Fallen with Denzel Washington. It's an energy that keeps passing from person to person, from location to location, from destination to destination. It keeps following you and it keeps talking to you through family members, through friends, through mates. It shows itself through objects, through animals, statues, figurines. Cosmic activities, which is something biocosmic from the inner verse, not the universe, but the inner verse. Like I told y'all, whatever's happening out there is happening in here. So you don't have to look out there. You can always just feel what's happening inside of you. A great shift is taking place. And you are the shapeshifter. You are the shape creator and the shapeshifter. It's time. And y'all going to see these classes, what I received and what I'm sharing the love with. I receive the love, I share the love. That's how it is, because the knowledge is not mine, it's not yours, it's nobody's. Knowledge is its own. It is what it is. And we're just vessels, we're just speakers of that divine alignment and connection. Okay? That's not true. It is. Let's get into the. So schools in Al Kebalan or Kemet, or what you know as Ramesh as well, from the Ramet people, were called Perank, which means house of life. That's what our schools were called. Our schools were called not PS 120 something or PS 80s or it was called House of Life. That's what the title of our schools in ancient time. We're talking about 10 to 20,000 to over that years ago. 10,000 years ago, 20,000 years ago. They were called House of Life, Perank, which means House of Trinity, meaning the Trinity or the Trinitarianism, all vantage perceptions of experience, House of Life. Life was the Trinity, the triangle, man, woman, child, child, man, woman. So you can basically say our schools were based on family, okay? Not just the physical family, but also the spiritual family, primarily the spiritual family, and then the family within yourself, because you are both man and woman, and you are the child. So how do you think you give birth to a new you? When you give birth to a new you, that means that there is a mother and father or masculine and feminine aspect within yourself to give birth to that new you, which is that Heru or that her you, her version of you. That's where Heru comes from. Heru or Heru comes from her you, her version of you. That's what women do, right? They give birth to, she gives birth to her version of you, man. Okay? So it's called the House of Life, the Perang. And this is where the children or rulers or the children of rulers, this is where the children of rulers went to these schools. They were they were taught to become priests and scribes and taught through a kingship language called Sebyet or Set. The language was called Set, Sebyet, okay, meaning dark energy. So the language meant dark energy. The school was based upon the House of Life. And the curriculums were called Kimti or Kumta, what I told you before, meaning black land or hidden realisms. These are the kind of kids, the kind of minds, the kind of beings, the kind of people, the kind of civilizations, the kind of tribes, the kind of culture, the kind of cultivation that we were creating at one time, which is here now. And I just happen to be a piece of that lineage, amongst others, a very small group of us, but amongst others, that comes from that genuine cloth, that unrippable, unterrible, unpiercing cloth of true divine gnosis. Okay? You know, now you're probably asking yourself, damn, how does one even teach this? You know, how do they teach this? They teach the black arts or the dark arts or the hidden arts or the being of the black arts and hidden laws. You have to be of this. To see it, you have to be it. You have to first be it in order to see it. You can't see it until you be it. But if you are it, you just have to acknowledge it and identify it within yourself. This is the kind of frequency that we was on. Now, when you look, now these are schools and stuff like that. This is why this is why I am a teacher. I certify myself. Certify just means search, which is insert. I was inserted with the light, with the gnosis, which means I was touched. I was reached by the hand of source, the invisible hand of the spirit, of the soul, of the divine spark, which is what you people nowadays, the modern term of it is called downloaded. I've been downloaded with enlightenment or downloaded with knowledge, and I got enlightenment. You call it downloaded. Certify, which means incertified. And this is the point. You pierce the black veil within yourself, within your black mind, your dark mind. The darkness which illuminates around you and receive the deep light. Okay? So this is why teachers, if that happens to you, then you are a teacher. You don't have to go to school. You don't have to go to course. You don't have to do any of this. You just are, and you become a teacher. Even if we look at doctors, you know, doctors only become certified doctors by taking the Hippocratic oath. Hippocratic was known as a person called Hippocrates, a Greek person, which was black, not an indigenous person, or half indigenous, Hippocrates, who studied diligently the works of Imhotep. Hippocrates studied Imhotep, which is a master. He was a master astrologist, scientist, mathematician, uh, surgeon, whatever you want to call it, architect, master at it. We're talking about over 8,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, between 5 and 8,000 years ago, which was an indigenous person. But how did he become that? He didn't go through no courses. He just received something. His darkness got pierced with the light. He got inserted. That's how he's certified. He was self-certified. This is about self-certification. A teacher that teaches a student something cannot become a certified teacher by going back to the student and sitting underneath the student. If you teach somebody, you can't go to the student. If you teach somebody want to become a certified teacher and you've taught somebody something, you can't go to the student to certify yourself because you're the one that taught the student. So therefore, you need no certification, no external certification, because you are internally certified. Remember, teaching is not a teaching. Teaching is not, it's basically a reminding. I'm reminding you. Just like I was reminded, I'm reminding you. In order to remind you, I have to rewind you, bring you back to ancient times or antiquitous people or antiquitous reachings, antiquitous gnosis. Right? So this is basically what I wanted to share at the moment. So that's all it means. A teacher is one who has the ability to rewire and reconfigure another life form from its atomic nucleus outward. A teacher is a dimension creator, a realm opener, a middle walker, a mind director. That's what a teacher is. Am I as I am, as you are? I see y'all guys in class. Anybody else that's interested in this light and this gnosis, pass this message on, pass this video on to others who may be seeking, and y'all know who comes to y'all with curious questions and things like that. My students, my studious, my astute ones, my subconscious scribers. Much appreciated as always, in always. I'll see you guys in class and in sessions. I'm still holding the Zoom sessions as well. Everything is everything. Everything is anything and anything is everything. I'll see you guys in class. Until then, keep studying, keep researching. Most importantly, keep experiencing. 1, 0.